So one thing about football is night games sometimes are very difficult. Some teams do amazing at night. Some teams suck at playing at nighttime. But the question is, what if every single game of the NFL season for every single team is a night game? Yes, guys, every single team will be playing at 8:20 p.m. Some of them will be on Sundays, some of them will be on Mondays, some of them will be on Thursdays. The thing is, they're all playing every single game at night. So no one gets to play at 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, or any other time. I know there's also London games also. And keep in mind, the London games will also be played at 8:20 at night. So let's just see how this goes, because some teams actually do better at nighttime. Usually it's the worst team actually that plays better at nighttime, ironically enough. So let's see if this impacts the season in any way possible. So we'll just use the Eagles here as a test dummy. They started the season losing to the New England Patriots, which is actually quite interesting, because that actually would make perfect sense, because the Patriots are, the worst team, obviously. And they actually started the season winning with a night game. Interesting. Okay, so the Eagles apparently cannot play at night. Am I just finding this out now that the Eagles absolutely suck at playing night games? I guess, I don't know. They do get some primetime games. Like, it's not like it's out of the ordinary for the Eagles to play any primetime game. They have had some primetime games. They played one last year against Buffalo, which came down to, I believe, overtime. And that was a really good back-and-forth game. Eagles ended up winning it after kicking a 57-yard field goal with Elliott with, 3 seconds left in, before overtime. So that was actually a pretty damn good game. But apparently, in this season, they can't play football at nighttime. 2-6 at nighttime right now. Dang, okay. Going into the bye week, 6-2 Cowboys, 6-3 Commanders, 5-4 Giants, and 3-6 Eagles. The fact that the Commanders and the Giants are so freaking good actually just amazes me. All because of the nighttime. Okay, well, it's 7-2 Chiefs, so I guess not everything's going to be, weird. 10-1 Bills. Okay, apparently the Bills can play at nighttime too. Good to know, the Bills can play at night. 5-6 49ers. Okay. 49ers suck because they got to play at nighttime now every single time. 10-2 Cowboys. See, the Cowboys play half their season in a dome. So technically, it's like always nighttime for them. Indirectly. Okay, this division is actually getting a little bit more, manageable here when it comes to the NFC East here. It's a little bit more closer together. So let's see how this ends up turning out in the end here. So week 17, week 18, obviously Eagles are not going to be making the playoffs here. But we will be taking a look at the final records for every single division right now. So now going into the wild card, let's take a look at what we're looking at. So AFC North, Ravens and Steelers made the playoffs at 13-4, 12-5. So nothing really out of the ordinary here. I guess in theory, the Browns would be probably a playoff team. They wouldn't probably go 7-10 in real life, but still okay. Not anything crazy here. The Texans going 5-12 is kind of crazy, but this is Madden, and this is also Madden 24. This is before the CJ Stroud breakout year. So, I'm not going to really think that's that crazy. Jaguars, Titans, and Colts, kind of what you expect. Jets, with Aaron Rodgers fully healthy, by the way, because injuries are off. So, everything is kind of looks like you play with your team. That's actually kind of crazy. The Aaron Rodgers only went 9-8 and missed the playoffs. Dolphins 6-11. Dang, primetime Dolphins are apparently not a thing. The Chiefs are just absolutely primetime darlings. The Chargers somehow made the playoffs. The Broncos made the playoffs, and this is with Russell Wilson, okay? So Russell Wilson takes them to the playoffs. All they needed was primetime football and Sean Payton, apparently. NFC North, led by the Packers. Apparently Dan Campbell can't win at night. Bears, Vikings, kind of typical. Saints and the Panthers. The Panthers make the playoffs at 8 and 9, playing all their games at nighttime. The Panthers this season have 0 games, 0 primetime games, and somehow, some way, they went 8 and 9. Okay. NFC East we looked at before. The Giants made the playoffs 9 and 8, and the 49ers are 11 and 6. That is quite the interesting season when you make every single game a night game. Yearly awards: Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson. It's kind of typical. How did Aaron Rodgers come in MVP voting number 4 when this guy could not make the playoffs? He couldn't make the playoffs. How? 36 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 4,200 yards. I mean, he had a great season, I guess, in the end. But still, though, that really seems surprising in the end there. But let's look at NFL here. Passing, Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes, top 2 in the league for yards. And then you have Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, Herbo, and Stafford, okay? Saquon Barkley led it in rushing. So nothing like too crazy different than normal. Okay, maybe Travis Kelce being the most receiving yards is kind of weird in all honesty. But other than that, okay, Richie James Jr. being up here too is kind of weird. Brandon Ayuk, Justin Jefferson, okay, nothing too out of the ordinary there. Sack leaders, Von Miller, okay. No, this is like pretty much typical sack leaders. Byron Murphy, okay. Foysan, Aluakon, 7 interceptions? And their team went 9 and 8 and barely made the playoffs. Alright, well, I guess that's a something. Let's just see how this goes with the playoffs. So, who's going to make the Super Bowl? I'm just going to take a wild guess here. It's going to be Cowboys. 100%, one of the teams will be the Cowboys. It's just how Madden works. It always is the Cowboys. First season, I told you, it's always the Cowboys first season. It does not matter what anyone says or does. The Cowboys will always make the Super Bowl the first season. So if you're an AFC team, you're going to be playing the Cowboys if you do franchise mode. Cowboys win. I swear. It's like whoever, the developers of EA Sports for Madden, just wants the Cowboys to be in the Super Bowl. And they always want them to win the Super Bowl. Which they have not been to the Super Bowl since 1995, I believe. And I think the 49ers won in 96. It might be switcheroo right there. But yeah, they have not been there in forever. So, overall wise, this is what you got in the end. Broncos beating the Ravens 38-6 is kind of crazy, to be honest. The Bills winning, not really that surprising. By the way, all the primetime games, you guessed. I mean, it's all the playoff games, you guessed it, primetime football. Okay. Jags losing to the Steelers. Steelers getting destroyed by the Bills, makes sense. Chiefs beating the Bills, pretty much typical. Broncos losing to the Chiefs, typical. NFC-wise, the Panthers losing to the 49ers, that makes sense. Giants beating the Packers, that's a false stretch. The Saints losing to Washington, that's actually not that surprising. Alright, after the first couple rounds, it actually isn't that insanely crazy. Once you get through the first couple rounds of these playoffs, it actually isn't that bad. But the Super Bowl being 35-28, I mean, just look at the Super Bowl, and that's the most logical thing in all of this, I guess. But just to take a look at it real fast, let's go to league schedule, I think. So, for example, the Super Bowl was at 8:20 p.m. on Sunday. All the playoff games, 8:20 p.m. on Sunday. This would be, by the way, the NFL would hate this so freaking much. Can you imagine this? So the reason why they put the playoff games, like championship games, at 4 o'clock and then 8 o'clock, so you watch both of them, right? So they can get the max amount of views and money and all that kind of stuff. If they had both games at 8:20, nobody's watching. You're either going to watch one of the playoff games. You're not going to watch all of them. Same thing with, divisional round and wild card round, all 8:20. You're not going to be watching these games, except for everyone would watch the Commander-Saints game, because that is different days. And I guess that, these are technically different days with divisional round, but guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Also, if you have any ideas on what other videos you want to see, definitely tell me down below. Especially now with Madden kind of dying off, with the season ending, I will go ahead and start up doing some crazy video ideas on this channel.